Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Hope you all had a nice long Thanksgiving weekend.
How about yours?
Yeah, it was great. You were gone an extra day, too.
Yeah, very nice. A lot of driving, but my brother and sister-in-law hosted us. It was wonderful and got through the weather. And now it feels like everything is quiet, all is calm.
And the weather is, too.
That's right. Yeah, that's good.
Well, more of that coming up. But first, right now, a Milwaukee area high school is now considered safe after a student brought a gun into the classroom. We'll explain how police stopped the suspects.
At a large fight on State Street over the weekend, we'll hear from Madison police officials on what caused all of that chaos.
And there are more impeachment public hearings to come later this week. We'll have a preview on what to expect.
We're going to be taking your phone calls for Dr. Zorba Pastor in just a little while. We'll also have a call for action phone bank tonight.
The phone's busy.
Yeah, details on all of that to come. Let's take a look outside today. Boy, that sunshine is nice, isn't it?
And it's a week's worth of sunshine.
Yeah.
State Street. At this hour, the weather words, all is calm. And Dana's in the backyard. All is bright back there.
Oh, it's bright. Things look pretty good. Of course, you can see all the lights behind me right now. Sun is just starting to set. We have about 30 more minutes of sunlight. I gotta say, if you're standing in the light right now, it doesn't feel too bad outside, but as soon as you start to get into the shade, it is just a little cool. Our radar's nice and quiet. We're gonna stay quiet overnight. Temperatures drop quite a bit heading into tomorrow morning. We're gonna fall to the mid to low 20s for our overnight low, so a chilly start to the day tomorrow. And then throughout the day, plan on more sun popping back up for your Tuesday. Again, a really quiet but good trend for the work week. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for the next several days in just a few minutes. Right now on the roads, I don't have any accidents to report. That's always a good thing. Here's a look at the Beltline right at Park Street, east and westbound. Moving along, though eastbound's taking just a little bit slower to get on through. Around Janesville right now, no delays, and for 39 and 90, should be good to get down to the state line. For Janesville to the Beltline, it will take you 25 minutes. Sauk City to Bilton, about 15, and from Sun Prairie to downtown, a quick 16-minute commute for you on this Monday evening.
Should have a traffic report from the car washes.
Right?
That's where they're backed up.
Gosh. Good luck trying to get into one right now in under an hour.
Yeah, this is the week, though. This is the week to do it. All right, Dana, thank you so much.
Developing this afternoon, an investigation is underway near Milwaukee after police exchanged gunfire with a student in a classroom.
It happened at Waukesha South High School, where police were called around 11 a.m. Our Eric Franke is here now with the latest. Eric?
That's right, Susan and Mark. Waukesha South High School. It's about 70 miles east of Madison. The Waukesha police chief says a student there warned the school resource officer that another student was armed in a classroom. That resource officer, the chief says, went to the classroom, tried to de-escalate the situation. That officer did manage to clear the classroom, get other students to safety before members of the City of Waukesha Police Department and the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department arrived on scene.
The suspect would not remove his hands from his pocket and continued to ignore officers' commands. The suspect removed the handgun from his waistband and pointed it at the officers. An officer was forced to discharge his firearm, striking the suspect.
My daughter is Alexis. She's a senior. They're starting to come out right now. I left work. It's the scariest thing I've ever heard.
Now, the police chief says the student is in stable condition, says the officer who shot that student is an 11-year veteran of the City of Waukesha Police Department. Now, later in the day, Waukesha police said on Twitter that another student was reported to be in possession of a firearm across town at Waukesha North High School. That school was put on lockdown and searched. The student was later found at home in Waukesha and taken into custody. No word yet on any possible connection between those two incidents. Mark and Susan.
Eric, thank you.
Yep.
For the first time in nearly a decade, the Supreme Court heard arguments in a gun rights case. Supporters of gun control rallied on the steps of the Supreme Court. The case concerns a New York City regulation that blocked licensed individuals from taking handguns outside of the city limits. 3 gun owners who challenged the city rule and the NRA's New York affiliate argued the restriction violated the right to bear arms. It's unclear whether the Supreme Court justices will reach a judgment in this case because New York City has already dropped the restrictions.
We're learning more tonight about a fight that happened on State Street this weekend that ended with multiple people being arrested and cited.
Responding officers initially called it bedlam and insanity, but police say this chaos when bars close is nothing new. Our Amanda Quintana is live on State Street with more on what started it all. Amanda?
Right before bars closed, about 15 people got into a fight inside Qdoba, you can see behind me. And that fight started because somebody cut in line, then drinks were thrown, and that started a whole fight. But police say this is pretty common here on the weekends on State Street. The Green Barn door right next door, they were able to catch this all on camera. The fight spilling out into the street and officers quickly stepping in. It looks like it was handled in less than 10 minutes. Police say they had to use pepper spray on people who became hostile towards them and tried to intervene. Public Information Officer Joel Despain says, unfortunately, this is what happens. People are drunk, then something small escalates.
And you get to bar time and a lot of people spilling into the street, and it happens in lots of cities that have entertainment districts. There can be problems, and certainly we've seen it here, and it goes back a long time.
As this was all happening, the bars were closing, so everyone was starting to walk out into the street, leading to more chaos. 13 MPD and about 3 or 4 UWPD officers were all called here. They weren't really sure what to expect, but police tell me this is one of the issues. This is why they've been talking to City Council to try to get more officers specifically in this area.
All right, Amanda Quintana reporting live from State Street. Thank you.
Madison police are hoping that surveillance photos will help them catch the man who was throwing candy to students at an elementary school playground. It happened at Orchard Ridge Elementary around 2 o'clock last Tuesday. Police say the man also tried to enter the school but left when he realized the door was locked. He's described as wearing a tan trench coat and a Green Bay Packers winter hat. He was also carrying metal crutches. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers.
The long holiday weekend is over, but the weather made it tough for some trying to make it back for work. More than 50 million Americans are in the path of severe weather with dangerous heavy snow and freezing rain. The Northeast is getting slammed with its first major snowstorm of the season. Some areas will see more than 2 feet of snow. Over the weekend, the storm brought 6.5 inches of snow to Green Bay, and parts of Marinette County saw almost 1.5 feet.
Oh, it's insane. And I've never seen all these before either. I mean, I've lived here the last 10, 15 years, so it's a first for me.
At least 6 deaths are being blamed on storms that hit over the weekend. In Troy, Illinois, officials say Interstate 55 was icy when a tractor-trailer jackknifed and another semi slammed into it. One driver was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. Impeachment proceedings moved to the next phase this week.
The House Intelligence Committee is handing off its work to the House Judiciary Committee, which holds its first public hearing on Wednesday. Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
House Intelligence Committee members returning to Washington this week will begin reviewing a draft impeachment investigation report. The committee is expected to vote on the report Tuesday evening before sending it to the Judiciary Committee, which will conduct its first public impeachment hearing the next day.
When I'm going to NATO, that was the exact time.
President Trump railed against the timing of that hearing before heading to London to mark the 70th anniversary of NATO.
The whole thing is a hoax. Everybody knows it.
White House counsel declined an invitation to participate in Wednesday's hearing, saying it, quote, exacerbates the complete lack of due process and fundamental fairness for the president. The White House has not ruled out participating in future hearings and has until the end of the week to decide. Some Republicans are split over Wednesday's hearing.
I think it would be to the president's advantage to have his attorneys there.
Why would they want to participate in just another rerun?
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi refused to comment on the House proceedings while attending a United Nations climate change event in Madrid.
We aren't here to talk about impeachment or the President of the United States. When we travel abroad, we don't talk about the President.
But it remains the focus in Washington. Wednesday's hearing will examine the constitutional grounds for impeachment with a witness panel of law experts. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler released a statement in reaction to the White House's refusal to participate on Wednesday, saying the response is unfortunate because allowing the president to participate has been a priority for the House from the onset, unquote. Nadler also called on the White House to release documents and to allow other witnesses to testify. Chicago's top cop has been fired. Mayor Lori Lightfoot announced the termination of Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson today. It stems from an incident in October where Johnson was reported to be sleeping in his vehicle. Johnson admitted that he had been drinking before being found asleep, but he blamed the incident on medication. Lightfoot says an investigation by the Inspector General shows Johnson intentionally lied.
It has become clear that Mr. Johnson engaged in a series of actions that are intolerable for any leader in a position of trust, particularly the head of the Chicago Police Department. This is obviously not a decision that I entered into lightly. However, the circumstances demanded these actions.
The announcement comes after Johnson and Lightfoot held a press conference last month to announce his retirement after 30 years of leading the department. Johnson had agreed to stay in his post through the end of the year in order to help his successor.
The Badgers are excited to have Paul Bunyan's axe back in its rightful home, the trophy case at Camp Randall. UW police officers escorted the football team to the stadium after their 38-17 win over the Golden Gophers this past weekend, reclaiming the axe that's been in Minnesota's hands for the past year. The Badgers have moved up to number 10 in the latest AP college football poll. They play the Ohio State Buckeyes in Indianapolis this weekend for the Big Ten championship. Well, today, 4 veterans are taking the trip of a lifetime to see memorials at the nation's capital installed in their honor.
Badger Honor Flight is flying 1 World War II veteran and 3 Vietnam War veterans from Madison to Washington, D.C. Danica Lewis is here to tell us about this always inspiring trip.
It is always so great, and this one is even more special, Mark and Susan, and this is because it's the first flight of its kind for Badger Honor Flight, specifically for terminally ill veterans and veterans beginning to suffer from dementia. More than 1,300 veterans are on the wait list for this trip, and today's flight helps ensure veterans who aren't healthy enough to fly during the 2020 season can experience the recognition they so deserve. It was an emotional send-off ceremony this morning, particularly for Vietnam War veteran Richard James.
You can't imagine what it's going to be. This is hard to believe. This is done, and it's done again, and it's done again. It's just beautiful.
The trip is sponsored by the Dan and Patty Reschke Family Foundation. All transportation, meals, and lodging costs are free to the veterans as a thank you for their service to this country. And of course, there is a welcome home celebration planned for 7 o'clock tonight at Wisconsin Aviation. We do plan to have a crew there, and that is another one you don't want to miss.
That's the best part of the whole day.
It is. The welcome home is so special, so be sure to tune in at 10 if you haven't seen it before, or if you have.
Well-deserved trip, that's
yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Danica, thank you.
Thank you, Danica. Still to come tonight at 4, we have a special evening call for action call-in. We'll tell you how you can get help with consumer issues or scams.
And then later on, film critic Will Loper shares his thoughts on a murder mystery film and another that'll pull at your heartstrings. His review of Knives Out and Marriage Story is coming up. If you're home
Well, electronics always win big on Black Friday. According to analysts, the Nintendo Switch was among the most popular items sold this year. Nintendo offered the Switch and a free download of Mario Kart 8 for $299, a savings of $60. Other winners on Black Friday were Fitbit and Roku devices. Adobe Analytics reports Americans spent $7.4 billion online on Black Friday and $4.2 billion on Thanksgiving Day. And of course, it's Cyber Monday. Shopping continues with Monday deals.
That's a lot of money. The Australian state of New South Wales is launching new high-definition cameras designed to catch drivers using cell phones behind the wheel. Officials say the first-of-its-kind technology will be at fixed locations and also mounted on mobile trailers. Artificial intelligence will review the video to catch distracted drivers. The first time a driver is caught, they'll be sent a warning letter. After that, they could face a fine of up to $344 or $457 in a school zone. On Wall Street, stocks plunged after President Trump tweeted that he is reimposing tariffs on Brazil and Argentina. The Dow Industrials lost 268 points, ending the day at 27,783. The Nasdaq fell 97 points. The S&P 500 was off 27.
Well, great opportunity tonight if you need a little bit of help. Our Call for Action volunteers are hosting a special event tonight, this evening, ahead of the holidays to help answer your questions and solve your consumer questions and concerns.
It is an evening call-in, and it starts in just under an hour. Leah Linscheid is in late this afternoon. Past your bedtime to explain what kind of things that people can get help with. And it's a good opportunity because usually people are at work when they're
It is. So you folks might be familiar. Our Call for Action volunteers are normally here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during their lunch hours, a little bit past me after I go home since I'm in the mornings. They are rarely here in the evenings. So this is a great opportunity if during the lunchtime you can't give them a call to ask about some of your consumer issues. This is great. If you're just coming home this afternoon, right around 5 and 7, they're going to be answering your phone calls here in the newsroom.
What are some of the issues that they help people with?
So it really runs the gamut. What's really neat about our volunteers is, first of all, they're all volunteer. So that means they don't get paid. They're donating their time to come out and help all of us. And second of all, they come from a wide variety of backgrounds. They are teachers, they're retired principals, they're retired healthcare specialists, maybe a nurse, maybe a telecommunications specialist. We really run the gamut in terms of their backgrounds, so they can help you with a problem with an airline, with a problem with your phone bill. Maybe you have perhaps a tuition bill that you feel like had an issue. They are here to help you out. They are going to mediate on your behalf with the company you're having an issue with, and they do get results.
Yeah,
they're very effective.
Amazing success rate, yeah.
Oh, it's incredible. Just this year, the nationwide organization, the Nationwide Call for Action, got consumers back $569,000.
Wow.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, they're set up shop in the newsroom. You walk by them, and they're on those phones.
Oh, yeah, and they're loud, too.
They're loud, but they're getting the job done.
They are. So they are going to be here to answer your phone calls. Maybe we can bring up the phone number here. Again, that's from 5 until 7. You can reach them at 608-270-2833. If you call a little early, I'm sure they'll pick up the phone. Maybe I will.
And then if you miss it tonight, they're regularly on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
From 11 until 1.
Okay, good to know that as well.
Yeah.
All right, call in. All right, Leah? Go get a nap. We're going to do later show yet.
I'll be back at 5, but I'll take a little nap in the makeup room in the meantime.
All right. See you at 5. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
There's more local news ahead. Tonight on News 3 Now at 5, how you can avoid identity theft. And scammers this holiday season, we'll hear advice from Madison Police. Take a look at this. You're watching Tristan Henley, a Terra Arma athlete, soar through the air in Moab, Utah. But this is no ordinary wingsuit flight. Henley is so precise with his flight line that he soars right through a small opening on a space net stretched out over the canyon opening. At the speed he's flying, trying to hit that small opening is nearly impossible, but he managed to pull it off in style. The 23-year-old is one of the youngest professional skydivers in the world.
From that perspective, it doesn't even look like he's really moving that fast.
I know.
That's so crazy.
That is cool.
That's incredible, though. Cool. Well, speaking of incredible, we have some beautiful video coming out of San Francisco that we wanted to share.
It was the perfect golden hour moment. A big, beautiful rainbow arching perfectly over the Bay Bridge. The bridge, wet from an earlier drizzle, was reflecting the sunlight, shining bright for all to see. Add some sailboats gliding on the horizon, and people were snapping pictures left and right. So a beautiful picture there. That's really neat.
That is very neat.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving? You drove to South Carolina?
I did. We went down to South Carolina. It was funny getting out of the car. It was very, very warm down there for us, for my husband and I. My in-laws were all bundled up in jackets and whatnot. It was about 60 degrees. So,
That's jacket weather down there.
We were fine. We were okay. So it's nice to be back home, though. It's a long drive.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Yeah, it is a long drive.
But you guys had good turkey days?
Yep.
Yeah, very nice.
You stayed around town, so that was nice. Didn't have to drive in.
And I didn't go far. I was in suburban Chicago, so that was good, too. But now the weather is cleared and no issues for the rest of the week. It's going to be a good week.
If only we could have had travel days for this week. Right. Now we do have a lot of sunshine, though, in the forecast for the rest of the work week. We're in a really great spot right now. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead. Heading through the next few days right after the break.
At her
Again, if you were standing in the sunshine today, did it feel too bad outside? We continue to see the nice sunny skies actually over the next few days, which is a good trend for us to enjoy that the sunny skies staying on around. Dry weather is going to continue on. Also, we don't have anything new building on in, and then our next chance for some rain will start to develop by the second half of the weekend. So we get to hold off for a little bit before those shower chances develop, getting into Sunday and the start of next week. A lot of sunshine today overall with our visible cloud track. Southern Wisconsin's been in a really great spot. Notice though some clouds off to the west. We'll have a few build on in overnight, but we're not expecting them to bring anything along with them. In fact, things will stay pretty quiet other than this quick moving trough that slices on through. Off in the New England area, very different story. They're dealing still with snow and rain stretching just off the coast, but those snow showers for Boston, New York, down through Jersey. So they're still dealing with some travel delays. For us, though, we're going to be enjoying some drier weather through the rest of the work week. So tonight, again, the cloud coverage will build in just a little bit overnight, but it won't be bringing anything along with it. For tomorrow morning, we may still have a few clouds hanging on. Temperature wise, we won't be dropping too much for those overnight lows, and then heading into Tuesday afternoon, a partly sunny sky. So the cloud coverage breaks up just a little bit. We won't get as much sunshine back, but because of the warmer weather building on in, it should feel a little more comfortable, or at least a little more mild outside. Afternoon highs will be in the upper 30s for Tuesday. Heading into Wednesday, a little clearer for early Wednesday morning, and then by Wednesday afternoon, high temperatures will yet again be in the mid to upper 30s, so close to 40 degrees. So a really nice trend for the next few days that continues into Thursday and Friday. So if you have any outdoor things you still need to wrap on up, and I feel like a broken record at this point, but you really probably should hop on that right now. And of course, if you've had any slick spots on the patio or driveway, a little bit of salts might be a good idea still, because temperatures are going to drop below freezing tonight. So any slick spots are going to stay slick into tomorrow morning. Clear this evening, but again, we become cloudy overnight. The breeze from the southwest at about 6 to 12 miles per hour, so not too much for a wind for overnight into Tuesday morning, but the mid-20s, a little cool early in the day. Plan on high temperatures in the upper 30s, close to 40 degrees tomorrow. We'll start off with some clouds early, but then our skies are going to become partly sunny. Certainly not going to be quite as cold outside. The breeze picks up a little bit more, 8 to 15 miles per hour from the west, but temperature-wise, we'll be in a pretty good spot. As long as you're standing in the sunshine, 40 degrees in Evansville should feel pretty good. And again, for Sauk City and even Sun Prairie in the upper 30s as well. So a really nice trend heading into Tuesday, and really for the rest of our work week. Overnight low temperatures won't drop quite as much either. We'll keep them in the 20s, staying out of the single digits for at least our 10-day forecast. Over the next several days, we have partly sunny skies. Thursday night into Friday morning, we aren't expecting a lot of moisture to build on in, but we may see a few flurries late at night and for early on Friday. That quick moving system drops our temps back just a little bit for Friday, but we quickly rebound heading into the weekend. So Friday, we're in the low 30s with partly sunny skies, breezy for Friday and Saturday, but Saturday, we're partly sunny and back into the upper 30s. That next system again is in the second half of the weekend, so you get to enjoy Saturday, and then by Sunday, some rain starting to develop. During the day, temperatures will be well above freezing, so we don't have any concerns for any of that rain transitioning in the afternoon, but overnight, as we drop into the 20s, we may see some rain mixing with snow into early Monday morning. Monday will be cold and windy, and right now next week does look like it's going to be much cooler outside, but this week, in a really nice little spot for the next several days to stay in the mid-30s. It's almost when you're sitting in the car and the sun's coming through the windows, it almost feels warm.
Yeah, the sun is warm.
The sun, yeah, right.
Get your shopping done, your errands done this week.
Hey, get it all done. Like you guys said earlier, the washing the car. Also knock that out now.
That would be a big deal.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Dana.
Are you baiting me, Detective?
Attempting to be thorough so we can figure out the manner of death.
You mean if someone killed him? You think one of us, one of his family, killed him?
Mr. Blanc, I just buried my father who committed suicide. Why are you here?
I suspect foul play. I have eliminated no suspects.
That was a clip from Knives Out, one of the newest movies to hit theaters.
Is the film worth seeing? Here to let us know what he thinks is our film critic, Will Loper. Wow, has this gotten a lot of publicity.
What a cast.
Yeah, a sharp script, and the cast is killer, of course, and some truly devious twists and turns make this one of the best times at the theater you'll have all year. and truly a must-see. We begin with a death. The patriarch is found dead, and all his family gets interrogated as Detective Benoit Blanc, played by Daniel Craig, tries to get to the bottom of what happened. Now, there's a lot of money at stake. Each family member has motive, and they're despicable as well. As an example, there's an Latinx caretaker who the family keeps saying is from a different South American country. The entire movie, they never bother to ask where she's actually from. Now, despite all your best guesses of where the movie is going, you're gonna be wrong. I know, because I was there and kept thinking, oh, yeah, I know where this is going, and was proven wrong every single time. Now, everyone is having a blast playing these characters. The cast is insane. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, Toni Collette, Chris Evans, Michael Shannon, and so many more. Now, this is what going to the movies is all about. It's just absolute fun. The script is tight, and you'll be wanting to talk about it as soon as it's over.
Is it nerve-wracking?
It's a little nerve-wracking, yeah, with, you know, the twists and turns that come about, and
it looks great.
And Daniel Craig. Skip Daniel Craig.
He's just chewing it up as that Southern detective, as someone says in the movie, CSI KFC.
All right, what's your rating?
I give this one 4.6. The entire continent of South America is out of 5. So
wow.
good.
Oh,
so good.
Great.
All right, up next, Marriage Story.
If we start from a place of reasonable and they start from a place of crazy, when we settle, we'll be somewhere between reasonable and crazy.
A little different here. So we got Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. They play a married couple who decide to get divorced and prepare yourselves for a completely emotionally devastating journey. It starts out amicably enough, but as the movie progresses, lawyers get involved, fights occur, and battles over custody of their son get heated. It doesn't shy away from any of the messy aspects of divorce, and both characters stay grounded throughout. The movie really allows you to see things from both of their perspectives. It's intense, it's tough to get through, but it's some top-notch movie making from start to finish from writer-director Noah Baumbach.
It's going to be emotionally exhausting to see both of these movies.
Yes.
It's going to be a high and then be stressful.
I needed a breather come Monday morning, yeah.
Another incredible cast, though, and Adam Driver again.
Yep. He's fantastic. Everywhere. Yeah, you see him a lot.
All right, so what's the rating?
Yeah, this one 4 stress balls out of 5. Let me tell you, you're going to need to wonder in this movie.
Thanks for the warning.
Yes.
All right, next week.
Next week we have The Aeronauts. Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones star as a scientist and a pilot in a hot air balloon.
Oh, so they're reuniting after their last movie together.
Theory of Everything stars are back together.
Up in the air.
Up in the air.
All right.
It'll be stressful.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Thanks, Will.
We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Here's a live look from our Edgewater Hotel cam. Clear skies, bright sunshine.
Yeah.
Nice to see it before it sets.
Any minute now?
Yeah, that's right. It's a nice shot on this Monday afternoon. Cyber Monday is already on track to be the largest online shopping day of the year.
An online tracking firm says sales reached $628 million by 9 o'clock this morning Eastern Time, and that's before the peak shopping hours. Hillary Lane is at an Amazon fulfillment center in Robbinsville, New Jersey, where workers are busy filling orders.
This Cyber Monday is expected to set a new shopping record, $9.4 billion, a 19% increase over last year.
We think in general the average discount rate of televisions will be about 20%.
Colin Morris is Director of Product Management for Adobe Analytics.
There will also be a bunch of deals for hot items that we see, such as the Frozen 2 dolls, Apple's AirBuds, the Pro version.
All those online orders need to be filled, which has the more than 100 Amazon fulfillment centers in the U.S. very busy, including this one in Robbinsville, New Jersey.
As you can see, things are humming along nicely. Today, more than 1 million packages will be leaving fulfillment centers all over the world.
This facility is the size of 28 football fields and holds tens of millions of products.
More than 3,000 full-time workers at this fulfillment center pick, pack, and ship customer orders.
We prepare for this day all year long. It's our Super Bowl. We're so excited. All our associates are here and ready.
The 4 golden hours of retail on Cyber Monday are from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern. That's when 30% of the day's revenue rings up as shoppers click buy before the clock runs out. Hillary Lane, CBS News, Robbinsville, New Jersey.
And retail analysts say if you can wait until after Christmas, that's when you get the steepest discounts on whatever inventory is left.
Yeah, that's what you're always supposed to do.
Yeah,
You always plan for next year, especially when it comes to electronics. That's really true.
Good advice.
When we come back, it's time to get your medical questions answered. Dr. Zorba Pastor is standing by in his office in Oregon.
The number to call, 270-9933. Hi, Zorba. What are we talking about today?
Hi, guys. We're going to talk about brushing your teeth to reduce your risk of a heart attack.
Quite a lot going on the Beltline right now, not necessarily a good thing. As we look at Park Street, there's a disabled vehicle blocking the left shoulder. However, it does look like leading up to that, the left lane is blocked. Folks are moving along just fine in the center and right lanes. On the westbound side, again, that's just blocking the shoulder, but you could see the eastbound side slow all the way up to Rimrock. And then as we get to Rimrock Road, the on-ramp, or excuse me, the off-ramp there at Rimrock, there is a crash on the ramp, so we have delays stretching all the way back, actually past Monona Drive for the westbound side. So east and westbound seeing some major delays right now. Along Janesville, we don't have any major delays and certainly no accidents to report there, but 39 to 90 should be nice and smooth. From Janesville to the Beltline will take you about 25 minutes, 17 minutes here from Sauk City to Middleton and some Prairie to downtown. A little longer than usual, up to 21 minutes now. That's a quick look at traffic.
Thank you, Dana. Brushing your teeth is not just good for your teeth and your breath. It might also protect your heart. We're taking your medical questions today for Dr. Zorba Pastor.
The number to call, 270-9933. And Dr. Pastor joins us from his clinic in Oregon. Hi, Zorba.
Hi, good to see you guys.
Interesting study, brushing your teeth and heart disease?
Right, exactly. Well, for years we've been talking about heart disease, brushing your teeth, talking about the bacteria that are in your teeth and how they might affect your cardiovascular system. And this study came out of European Society for Hypertension and Cardiology, and they looked at whether or not people who brush their teeth on a regular basis, 2 or 3 times a day, in other words, morning and evening or morning and the middle of the day and evening, had less heart disease. And lo and behold, the ones who were actually brushing up to 3 times a day had up to 10% to 15% the lower risk of heart attacks, and maybe even stroke, compared to people only brushed once a day. And I find this really, really interesting because brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth are really important for good nutrition, especially as you get older and your teeth are more likely to have problems. But now we know that brushing your teeth up to 3 times a day might also be good for your heart. It's another reason to get an electric toothbrush this Christmas, because they are far better than a hand toothbrush, because you push the button and you brush your teeth for 2 minutes. That's how long it stays on, which is really how long you should brush your teeth. And don't forget to floss.
Absolutely. You sound like my dentist, not my doctor.
All right, I'll go to dental school next.
Okay. Let's go to the phones. We'll start with Cliff in Hanover. Hi, Cliff.
Hi there. How you doing?
Good. What's your question?
Well, I've been having a lot of skin tags lately. I'm 66 years old, and I've been dealing with them for a number of years. What can a person do to get rid of them, and how do they stop coming back?
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, you can't stop them from coming back. They're generally genetic. If somebody else in your family has them, you'll have them too. And the best way to get rid of them is to go to a doctor's office and you have them snipped off. That's how you do it. Either they're shaved off or snipped off. And for some people, especially when they're under the arms, which is often where they are, they can really be bothersome and uncomfortable. But that's the way to do it. And sorry, I don't know of any treatment to actually keep those skin tags from happening again.
Oh, interesting. All right. 2 lines open at 270-9933. Let's go to Dan in Lodi. Hi, Dan. What's your question?
I went to the VA on my last checkup, and they had a gal sitting in the lobby, and she was saying about fish oil pills, how they it was down for a while. Now they believe that does have a help as far as Alzheimer's disease. Is that true, or is it still about the same?
I don't think fish oil has anything to do with Alzheimer's disease. We don't know what causes Alzheimer's disease. What we do know is that people who have an Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia, we know that people get their blood pressure under control, their cholesterol under control with a statin, who exercise, who eat a good Mediterranean diet. They have a lower risk of dementia and actually have a lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. Eating fish twice a week is also useful. But fish oil, I don't think there's any proof, any shred of proof that it works for Alzheimer's. Not at all.
Interesting.
Sorry.
All right. Let's go to Christine in Madison. Hi, Christine.
Hi. I have sleep apnea, and I have a CCAT machine, but I got this thing called the Soul Clean machine. Mm-hmm. When I use it in the morning, my glands are so swollen. My face is swollen.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm just wondering, is that normal or what?
No, no, I wouldn't consider that to be normal, but it is a side effect if you have a sleep apnea machine. What you want to do is call your sleep doctor, and you want to make sure that you go in and get new equipment. And new equipment doesn't mean the machine. It's usually a matter of the mask and the type of mask that you're actually using. You've got to have a well-fitted mask to make it work, but there are different types of masks based on your face. So call your provider, get a different mask. It's not normal, but it is something that does happen.
All right.
All right. Let's go to Sue in Oregon. Hi, Sue. What's your question?
Hi. I am calling about my mother who has dementia, and she is due for a colonoscopy, of which I would rather not see her do. If she goes in for the colonoscopy, they're talking about putting her under and doing the regular colonoscopy.
Right.
The last time she went under anesthesia, it was not good.
Yeah. Don't do a colonoscopy. You're 100% correct. She has Alzheimer's disease. Why do you want to do a colonoscopy with her when she doesn't have a quality of life? And why do you want to put her to sleep when she's had side effects? Cancel it. Don't get it done. Good example of over-testing, which a lot of us do, a lot of physicians do. I sometimes do it and can't, have to stop. Absolutely cancel the test. There's no reason to do it.
Oh, good. That's reassuring for her to hear, yeah.
All right, Jim in Sun Prairie. Hi, Jim.
Yeah, hi.
What's your question?
I have sciatica in my hip, very bad. It's been for years now, and it's got to the point. I'm 54 years old. It's getting to the point where I can't even be active. I have a long history of being on prednisone for Addison's disease, and they finally diagnosed me that I don't have that, and it is just all this prednisone for about 18 years, high doses, and they're getting me down now to like 15 milligrams a day. And it seems since I've gone down on my dose, my body's just really starting to hurt all the time. And I've tried physical therapy. I'm on drugs from the doctor.
Well, let me. I'll give you some suggestions. First of all, getting down on those prednisone pills are really important, but then your body will tend to ache more. So you want to, once you get off the prednisone, you want to start to use anti-inflammatories. But while you're on it, you can't. So 2 arthritis-strength Tylenol in the morning, 2 in the evening when you go to sleep, 2 in the middle of the day. Physical therapy. Those are the things you have to do. Get a good physical therapist. Water aerobic exercise can really help with that pain. And it's a tough thing as you go down with that steroid.
It really is. All right, we're out of time. Thank you all for calling in. We'll do this again soon. Zorba, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Zorba. Great to see you.
Take care.
We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.
Check 3.
Weather.
Almost normal, finally, yes. So we'll get back close to average today, of course, right on the money in the mid-30s. Sunset, though, just a little bit ago, so now it's going to start to get chilly overnight. As some clouds build on in, our Doppler radar is going to stay quiet, though. Temperatures quickly dropping into the 20s, and then overnight lows will land in the mid-20s. Heading into tomorrow, we get the sun back again. That's nice, and temperature-wise will be above average. We'll start off with a few clouds early, partly sunny later in the afternoon with high temps near 40 degrees.
That looks nice.
December.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
We'll be right back.